Yo, what up, homie universe? This your boy Qwan, and unfortunately, we're here with some terrible, terrible, terrible news. One of our favorite wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest characters in professional wrestling history, Bray Wyatt, has passed away at the early age of 36 from complications with, I believe, COVID. Now, I just want to use this moment as a time to really talk about what Bray Wyatt meant to us and our favorite moments with Bray Wyatt. And I'll start with Cooley because I know Cooley is the biggest Bray Wyatt fan on this podcast. Cooley, man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for real.
The news hurt.
Talk to us. Talk
man.
to us about what Bray meant to you, man, because I know you love Bray Wyatt.
Listen, man. I want to say that Bray was one of those wrestlers that got me back into wrestling, just like CM Punk was yours, Qwan. I took time off from wrestling. I was, in the streets doing the music and stuff, and then I just seen this guy. I saw the character. I saw what he did as far on the mic and in ring. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? So he reeled me back in. He had the Wyatt family going on. That was a great time. And then when I actually saw him for the first time in 2017 on Raw, I was like, wow, man, like this is incredible. Like everybody had the lights up, his thing was going. Like, man, I was just like, wow, this is just insane. I want to say when he came out with The Fiend, that's when I really was like, yo, this dude, mine is on another level. The Fiend brought back the childhood in me, as opposed to like the Undertaker scary characters, the Kane from Hell. Like it brought back that feeling. So I'm like, yo, I'm 100% behind this Fiend character. This is dope, yo. And I saw The Fiend in 2019. He came out. Was it Seth Rollins? I believe it was Seth Rollins. He grabbed Seth Rollins, choked him out, took him to the back. I was like, yo.
When he dragged him off, I remember that.
Man. It was crazy. I believe that was SmackDown, the 20th anniversary.
You was there live?
Yeah, I was there live. I was at Staples Center with my homie Spank. So I've always stood behind this guy, even when Vince let him go. I was sad. I'm like, yo, like you just let Bray Wyatt go? Like, bro, he was just so over. I didn't understand it. Top merch seller, and
even
then when he came back,
when he was gone.
Oh yeah, his absence.
Even after he was fired, he was still one of the top merch sellers while he was
booming.
gone.
He was booming. Like it was just incredible, man. Like wow, he brought that feeling back to me, man. And then when he returned at Extreme Rules in 2022, man. Oh my God, bro. It was
that
crazy.
Moment was insane with all the funhouse puppets coming out as live versions of them and the music and then like the door, that entrance, everything, man. That was this one hurts. This one hurts. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot for like the wrestling world to rebound from this, because when you see the way that other wrestlers are reacting to this, the outpour of love that's coming from everybody, no matter what promotion they're in, whether it's AEW, GCW, New Japan, all these guys are coming out and standing in support of Bray Wyatt and his family, his wife, his brothers, his uncles. Yeah, man, this hurts. This hurts.
Yeah, and I know we all we all talked about it, like, oh, what's Bray doing? He hasn't really done nothing. The creative is lacking. I mean, we all said it, and it's just crazy. Bro was really battling something behind the scenes, and right. Us as humans, we just react of what we see and what we know. Right. And that's why what we knew. And it's kind of sad that his whole second run, he only has one televised match, and that was the pitch back match. And after that, like he was just, behind the scenes. And then I want to say I seen your text, Qwan, in the chat. And I'm like,
when you got the notification, yeah.
Bro, I'm at work. I'm like, nah, no way, bro. I don't believe it. I had to get off social media, bro. Like, that hurt. That really hurt for real. Like,
I honestly thought it was a joke at first when I first like one of my homies sent me the tweet, but he cropped out like Triple H. Like I don't know if that's just how he screenshot it or whatever, but like it didn't show that it was Triple H's tweet. It just showed that there was a tweet. So when he sent me the picture of it and I read it, I thought it was a joke, or I thought somebody was just trolling on Instagram or Twitter. So when I really searched his name and I saw it coming from like Sean Rossap and all these wrestling news guys, that's when it really hit me like, wait, this is real. This is really something that just happened. We just
yeah,
lost Bray
man.
Wyatt at the age of 36.
That's young. That's really
Sylvan,
young.
talk
Man.
to me, man. How you?
Yeah, man. I mean, anybody who knows me knows that, like, as far as Bray Wyatt as the character and in ring ability, like, I was never the biggest fan, but I could always be objective about how popular and how important and how influential Bray Wyatt was, man. And this is just really, really sad. And I remember on the last pod we were talking about him beating a life-threatening disease, a life-threatening and a career-threatening disease. And I stood in my opinions, which were like, I'm really glad that this guy essentially was able to still be with us, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to see anything happen to him. He's very important to wrestling, despite what you think about him, despite what I felt about him. Objectively speaking, he's an important figure into wrestling as a whole and very instrumental part in the future of wrestling in this generation. I did not expect to wake up yesterday, going about my day, receiving a text in our group chat from Qwan, because that's how I found out that Bray Wyatt passed away. It was just very like, what are you talking about? Like, we just got reports that he beat a life-threatening disease,
Right.
and that he's preparing his creative to come back. And for it to be something as sudden as a heart attack, I mean, it's heartbreaking, man. Like, you can't, you can't, there's nothing to prepare for it. It's just, I was speechless. I was speechless the entire day, honestly. Like, after getting that news, I just did not know what to think. That was the last thing on my mind, was that, Bray Wyatt is going to pass away and we're not going to have this wrestler with us at such a young age, at 36, man. And you just think about how precious life is, of course, obviously, but in the wrestling community, everybody's always putting their life on the line, their bodies on the line, day in, day out, night in, night out, but nothing crosses our minds of these people not being with us. And Bray was battling a lot. And obviously we were not privy to how much exactly he was battling until, honestly, recently, man. And so this is just really heartbreaking, bro. It's speechless. I think this is the most insane news in the wrestling history, honestly. Like, this is probably the most popular, like, I don't think we've heard or seen anything like this since Eddie and sorry, I'm blanking right now. And Benoit. Yeah, Eddie and Benoit, where it was just like, what are you talking about? Man, my condolences to the entire family, man. I mean, it's just, you can't prepare for anything like this.
Right.
You can't.
And the thing is, like, so when you're not privy to certain information and you really don't know what's going on, it's easy to speculate. Because, I mean, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. But I feel like we should use moments like this as, if not only a teachable moment, but something that we can learn from. Because I remember when Bray Wyatt first went out, when he left, he walked away from the Madison Square Garden show, and there was like a good couple hours where like speculations were running high, but almost immediately it was reported that Bray Wyatt was dealing with an undisclosed health issue. Sean Rossap said it. The Dave Meltzers, everyone reported that it was an undisclosed health reason why Bray Wyatt was away. And for wrestling fans to kind of just brush that off and chalk it up as creative issues and creative differences, and oh, this guy is leaving the big bad WWE because he's upset that Vince McMahon is backstage again. Like, the fact that we did that and kind of just dismissed the health part of this, it looks bad now when we look back at it, because it's like, no, this man was really dealing with something that was life-changing and serious, and we all kind of just dismissed it because we were so caught up in the Vince McMahon whirlwind that we forget that these are real people with real life like issues, and it's not all about the entertainment and the show at the end of the day. So I hope that we can all use this as a learnable moment to to really give grace when it should be afforded. Like, we didn't know what was going on with this man. And again, I understand that it's easy to speculate when you're not privy to certain information and you hear undisclosed health issue, because that can be anything. An undisclosed health issue could be a broken toe or like a bad ankle. And in this situation, it just ended up being a lot more serious than we knew. So I just hope that in the future we're able to give grace, because we always saw the same thing happen with Chadwick Boseman. And again, I was one of the people when Chadwick Boseman, when he first stepped in front of the camera, and he looked a lot different than what we remembered him as. I was one of the people that like made fun of him for being so skinny, like, because we didn't know what was going on. But then looking back at how that played out and the fact that he lost his life because he was dealing with something super serious, you feel bad. You feel terrible afterwards, because you said things about someone who was literally battling for their life. So all I ask is that we just allow grace. Sometimes it's better to just shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sorry for using that language, but sometimes our opinions aren't needed on every single thing. And I get it. Like, this is a podcast. We're going to give opinions, but there's certain things, especially when health is involved, and we know that health is involved, no matter how big or how small it might seem. If health is involved, sometimes it's okay to just back off and shut up.
It's real.
And I'm sorry for taking it there, but it's a lot of tweets being dug up on Twitter right now, and a lot of old videos resurfacing to where people like dismiss this health thing, and it's like, it hurts to see it now, because look what was going on behind the scenes. We had no idea.
And a big part of it too is just the fact that nobody is expecting anyone to die, right? Like, nobody's expecting Bray Wyatt to not be here. Nobody's expecting anybody that's going through any type of health issue to not be here. Especially when you're dealing with wrestling, your main headspace is that, oh, injury, he'll recover. Oh, back surgery, he'll recover. Oh, Achilles, he'll recover. Oh, he maybe can't wrestle as much, he'll recover. It's never like, oh, this person is not going to be here with us. Or,
right.
You know, like when I look at Roman Reigns, like, and he came out and addressed us and was like, yo, I have leukemia. And it was like, oh,
yeah,
you could die.
Yeah.
Let's back up. Like, whatever you got to do, we're here with you, you know? Bray's people took a different approach and kept things quiet and internal, and they didn't want to worry us. And we didn't really know it was life threatening until a week ago, 2 weeks ago at that. And and until he had already, you know, moved past it and was in a better space to be able to return. And I just think it just takes everybody by shock. Like, we didn't know, you know what I mean? Like, it was vague. It was very just like up in the air, and our wrestling heads just went directly to where it went to, which is booking. You know, this is Cap. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't, this is just some type of thing. You know what I mean?
And we were definitely caught up in the Vince McMahon whirlwind at the time as well, because Vince McMahon had just returned, and there were so many reports that he was backstage more often than he had been in the past. So it was just like, it was easy at that time to just attribute everything that went wrong to that. You know what I'm saying? But fast forward to now, and it's like, damn, we had no idea. And it's not like we deserve to know, because at the end of the day, privacy is privacy. We just went through this with the Jamie Foxx situation, where people were out there demanding for him to make a video or demanding for him to step in front of a camera. But it's like, at the end of the day, these are people, man. So like, allow them their privacy, allow them to do things on their own terms, man. But still, this is I don't know how the wrestling world is going to rebound from this. We just had to record an entire podcast and just kind of go on as business as usual. But it's like in my heart, like at the bottom of all this, you still feel it. Like, man, this is someone who lost their lives that I've been rooting for the last 10 years. It's terrible, man. And there's AEW has their biggest show.
Yeah, in 2 days.
In 2 days.
Yeah,
On the heels of this, man.
It's tough, man. I mean, it's tough. He meant a lot to the entire wrestling world. It's just, it transcends any type of company, or like he was one of the most popular wrestlers in the world. And
right.
And this is the most, in my opinion, this is probably the most shocking death I've seen in history since Benoit. Like you just didn't see it coming, man. And man, it's just nuts to see that at 36, one of the most profound minds in wrestling, regardless of how you felt about him, regardless of how I felt about him. Like,
36 is so young. Like,
insane, bro.
People don't realize how young that is. There's guys in NXT right now that's like 34, 35.
Yeah.
Like Grayson Waller is like, it's like, damn, this dude's career was really just getting started, to be honest. So to lose him now. Yeah. But look, before we get out of here, I just want to end on a higher note, because I feel like in moments like this, it's important to not only grieve, but also to celebrate people's lives. You know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, I just want us to all give one of our best, greatest memories with Bray Wyatt, because we all love Bray Wyatt. I want to say, for me, one of my favorite moments is that first episode of the Firefly Funhouse, when Bray popped up with the Blues Clues set in the background, and he's wearing the collar shirt with the red sweater vest over it and the khakis, and he's like waving and talking to puppets, and we're all so confused, like, what is this? What's going on? But then at the very end of the clip, you get a glimpse of the Fiend mask, and you hear the little scream, the run, and it's like, whoa, what did I just witness? That was insane. Where is this going? I am tuned in because I want to see more. I'll never forget that moment. I'll never forget that. I can't even see Steve from Blue's Clues now without thinking of that Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse clip. I'll pass this off to Cooley, because again, Cooley, we all know Cooley. Bray Wyatt is Cooley's favorite wrestler. This is not just me saying this because of what happened.
Let me see.
Cooley has been on this Bray Wyatt train forever.
Yeah. Yeah, so, man.
Cooley, man. What's your favorite Bray Wyatt moment?
I got two favorite moments. I mean, of course,
give us both.
I like when he, popped out as the Fiend when he debuted on Raw. I want to say that was 2019 in July. It was right before SummerSlam. So yeah, he popped out of nowhere in the dark. Did a sweet Sister Abigail to Finn Balor. I was like, yo, what is going on? And then you just see the mask, and then everybody is chanting, holy sh. I mean, they edited it out, but the real audio is crazy. Like, it was a crazy pop.
They were going nuts.
They were going crazy. I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy. And then, of course, my other favorite moment was Elimination Chamber 2014. The Wyatt family versus the Shield, and that match is so great because that is the match that got all those guys pushes. It got Roman, Seth, the whole Wyatt. It made Bray Wyatt his place in WWE after that match. Like, that sealed the deal.
He earned his spot.
Yeah, he earned his spot, and that led up to him fighting John Cena at Mania 30. It was Mania 30. So, I mean, that was a great match. I'll never forget that one. Oh, damn. And then there's one with Daniel Bryan, Royal Rumble 2014, man. That
was one of my favorite feuds when Bryan Danielson was in the cage wearing the Wyatt family gear, and then he finally takes it off, and we really lost Bray Wyatt, man. This is insane.
But those are my favorite moments of Bray Wyatt, man.
Give us your favorite moment, Sylvan.
My favorite Bray Wyatt moment will honestly have to be Firefly Funhouse match against John Cena. To me, that was just I have two moments. That was just an incredible match, especially in the middle of the pandemic. If we were just talking about it, Quan, like if we didn't have that match, if we didn't have the pandemic, I don't know if we would have had that match, and taking what, Matt and Jeff were doing and making it into their own and showing kind of the history of John Cena. And it was just an incredible, incredible moment. And then
And it was different. It was so different from anything we've ever seen.
It was entertaining. It was different. It was like, yo, what's going on? But it felt so good, and it was just like, yo, I want more of this. And honestly, my second would have to be when Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family adopted Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. Like that was, it was such an unexpected move. I didn't expect it to happen, and at first I was kind of like, what? But it worked, and it was really, really fire. And I just really, really appreciate Bray for being as theatrical as he was. Despite like how I felt about it, it was needed. We didn't have a lot of imagination in WWE at that time, and he brought a lot of creativity that really made the entertainment aspect of wrestling stronger than it had ever been in years, probably decades. And it's gonna be hard to replace that energy, man. It really is. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough loss, in my opinion.
Right.
It is a tough loss.
Well, I'll end it with this. Like I said, it's important to celebrate people's lives. Obviously, we did not want to lose Bray the way we did, especially at this age of 36. But at the end of the day, we were blessed to be able to witness his greatness, and he's going to live on forever through wrestling and through us, through his fans, through his kids, through JoJo, his beautiful wife. So rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.